من با عذرخواهی از بزرگان، چون جوان‌ها زیاد هستن، از من خواستن که دوارتورا رو به انگلیسی بگم. به انگلیسی میگم، بعد اگر فرصتی شد باز به فارسی ترجمهش میکنم. We're reading the section of the Vayakhel, the parasha of Vayakhel, from the book of Exodus. This parasha is actually a repetition of the two previous parasha that we had, and it talks about building of the Mishkan, building of the tabernacle. And the parasha starts with God telling Moses to gather people, get together people, bring people together. Vayakhel means to bring people together, and ask him to help to build the Mishkan, to build the sanctuary, to build the house, to build a place that the light force of God could dwell in it. خانه‌ای برای من بساز، خدا می‌فرماید، که من بیام درش میون شماها باشم. And the Kabbalist question, isn't God everywhere? Don't we learn that God is everywhere? God is in this synagogue, God is outside, God is everywhere. God is in the Sefer Torah, God is in this table, God is everywhere. The light force of God is everywhere. So why do we need to build a house, to build a Mishkan, to build a tabernacle, to build a special place for the light force of God to come in there? If the light force of God is everywhere, for those who don't come to synagogues, for those who don't participate, and their excuse is, God is everywhere. God is everywhere. So, what God is talking about, to build something physical, build a physical house, a room, so I can dwell in it. And what's the difference between a Mishkan, where the light force of God dwells in it, versus my home, your home, outside? What's the difference? Isn't God everywhere? And Ari Agadosh explains that the light that manifested in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle, was so powerful that if you make a connection to it, everything would become so clear. I would know all the answer to my question. People who connect to Mishkan, people who connect to Bet HaMikdash, the light that emanates in Bet HaMikdash, in Mishkan, is so powerful that if you make a connection to it, it makes everything clear. We become holy, we become shining. And this Shabbat, we connect to that power, that extra energy of the light force that resides in Mishkan, in Bet HaMikdash. And it says that God asked Moshe to ask people, whoever is willing and it's within his heart to come in to build the Mishkan. If you have the desire to build the Mishkan, come and build the Mishkan. If your heart is asking you, driving you to come and build a place for the light force of God to reside in it, then come on. And all these people in the desert, they weren't architects, they weren't carpenters, they weren't people who knew what to do, but they had the desire. They had the desire, they had the heart for it. And when they came in, and if they wanted to do it, the moment they start building of the Mishkan, then the whole knowledge of how to building it would flows into their system, and they would become the best architects, the best builders, the best carpenters. You know, they say, if someone gets lost in a desert and loses the time, loses the space, if he doesn't know what day is today, Is today Monday? Is today Tuesday? He's lost. And he wants to celebrate Shabbat. Imagine a Jew gets lost in a desert and he loses the concept of time. He doesn't know when Shabbat is. And if he doesn't know which day is Shabbat, the halakha is that he should count 7 days, and on the 7th day, he should celebrate the Shabbat. That means we create Shabbat. That means we awaken the power of the light force. If you have a mezuzah on your door, but you're not aware of the mezuzah cannot create the light, the protection that it is in potential. When I touch the mezuzah, when I kiss the mezuzah, when I make a connection to the mezuzah, then the mezuzah becomes the most powerful source of protection. When I put on my tefillin and I say the blessing, then the light of the tefillin becomes awakened. When I say today is Shabbat and I come to synagogue, I awaken the power of Shabbat. We awaken the power of Shabbat. We awaken the power of the spiritual tools. This Zohar will only manifest itself when I start reading it, when I make a connection to it. The Sefer Torah will start shining when the Rabbi Mordechai is going to start reading the Torah. When it says, make a place so I can dwell in it, that means God gave us the key. He gave us the code. And He's sitting until you open the door. You awaken this light force. And when you open the door, He comes in. The light force of God is going to shine and it's not going to stop. But you have to open it. You have to have the desire. You have to have the heart. And you awaken the light force of God. You awaken the tools. The Mishkan, the Tabernacle, the Mezuzah, the Menorah. When you light up the candles on Shabbat, on Friday night, you create Shabbat. The light of Shabbat, then it flows in it. We have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to get together. Vayakhel, get together, become one unified soul, and ignite the light of Shabbat, ignite the light of Menorah, ignite the Mishkan. That's our responsibility. That's what we promised. That's what we're going to do. And when we do that, then the light force of God shines, shines and shines and shines. تو فارسی میگن از تو حرکت از من برکت. We have to start, initiate. Then the life force of God will come. Abigail is going to start, initiate the life force that her soul is going to bring to this world. For herself, for her family, for this synagogue, and for the whole world. And we're going to celebrate this Shabbat in the month of Adar, in the month of joy. And we ignite the joy. We ignite the light force of God. And we're going to create peace, shalom, into the whole world.
Amen.
Amen.